Okay, hey guys, Anime Westviewers here. It's going to be my review for Trinity 7, Chapter 81, which is the latest one. So yeah, we're finally caught back up. So this chapter is titled Lord Reverse and Pure Thema. So we start the chapter off with Aberacia noticing about Gryphia pretty much. So she notices the Magic King's power, and she's like, Farfarella, he got too ahead of himself and overused the Magic King's power. And then she's like, well, that's fine. And then she just puts the armor back onto Graphia. And she says, I still have quite a few arrangements plans for that too. I have to get my hands on the Magic King's core. And if I get the Priestess of the World Tree, and then we have someone kind of like hiding in the shadows, which I'm going to assume is Lug, because I believe she was in here too with Levy. So we have someone hiding in the shadows, and she says, "This is, this feels awfully risky, huh? A crisis, just like Levy-san predicted." And then seemingly Aberration notices the presence, says, But yeah, when we go back to the pillar, the person is gone. Like, where they were hiding, they disappear. And then Aberration says, looks like there are still things outside of my plans. Interesting. Well, that's how sorcery is. And so we go back over to where Levy is with the Magic King. And so yeah, you got him holding part of Farfarella's like mask, which is I guess is like part of his face or something. And he's like, "Great Magic King, oh." And King is like, "Oh, Farfarella, my lord." And he just like crushes it and is like, yells, "Ah, forgive me." And then the king is like, "If you desire forgiveness, I will forgive all. Isn't your magic power already one within me?" And then he just like licks his blood. It's just like dripping off his fingers. And then Levy like looks like she's about to like attack him. And then Arn says, "Don't. He's not paying attention to us, so we should withdraw." Or like, since we're not paying attention to us, don't provoke him. And then he goes, And then he's like, here, and he just like blows a hole in dimension or something to where Arta and Hohenheim and them were hiding. I don't know if they were on the same like floor or not, because I don't think they were. But he like blasts a hole in like space or something, and he just like, oh. And then Arta's like, you're. And so he's like, you've already brought the candidate, Libiku. And so she's like, great Magic King, and then her like knight kind of or fake one like fake Magic King attacks him. He's like not evading or defending, and then he just like glances at him, says a doll should stay quiet, and then it just like his top half explodes. And so yeah, yeah. Don't know who's talking. I think Lilith. Someone says last son. And so yeah, she's like, just by looking at him, and then yeah, oh yeah, last Trinity. That's who it was that he blew up. So yeah, Hohenheim like kneels down, congratulates him on his rebirth, and then he strips her, kind of like Arta does. So he strips her, says as beautiful as ever, Libku, and she's like, "And you are in a good mood, are you not, my lord?" And he's like, "Indeed, I am very cheerful. Because of you who fell from grace and Alberacia, who piled up strategies to destroy me, as well as my servants who waited impatiently for my revival, I feel the deep love of all." And you see like this aura coming off of him. Lilith's like not saying anything, and Lilim says Mama Sama. And then you have, I guess, Hohenheim looking over at Arta and thinking the Magic King candidate is still no match for the real one. On the other hand, my artificial king would only be throwing away its lives uselessly. In the end, this is, and then he like grabs her by the chin, kind of thing, and she says, "Great Magic King," and then he's like, "I don't mind. Scheme as you please, Libku. No matter how much you try to destroy me, it is merely an expression of your deep love." So Arta steps up, like, "Hold it right there, Magic King." And he's like, "Ho." And he's like, "I entered Dante's gate in order to meet you." Lilith's like, "Arta." So Arta says, "It looks like lots of stuff happened with you guys, but right now I'll have you deal with me." And he's like, "Very well, speak. A Magic King candidate is like my own child. However," and then he just like seemingly breaks Judecca. So yeah, you see like literally breaks her in half because you see like the blade split and she falls over, seemingly like bleeding. And so yeah, Judecca says, "Functionality halted, Master. You can't fight him." And so yeah, he yells Judecca, and so the Trinity is saying, pointing a sword at me, "Who is like your father is irrelevant, or irreverent, not irrelevant. Next time you won't be left off with just a sword, understand?" And so yeah, he's like, what power? How many times greater than Senpai is? To know the depth of his magic is completely beyond my understanding. So yeah, he's just vastly stronger than him right now. So yeah, Trinity then says, "Now speak, what do you want me to hear?" So Arta's like, "What are we Magic King candidates really?" And he's like, "Is that all? Perhaps you've perhaps heard that you are a system for the destruction of the world, yes?" And then he says, "Foolishness. The Magic King is one who reigns over everything in the world, one who grips all the worlds that branch apart infinitely. In other words, all the worlds exist to love me." And he says, "Donna Ice Requiem Sympatir Nam." Something like that. Not even sure if I said that right. And so Hohenheim yells, "Don't," or Libiku starts yelling, "Don't." You see like this darkness kind of spotty thing, like when Arta has this like his Magic King transformation at the beginning of the series. There's like spot things fly out all over the city, and so people are like, "What's that black? What's that black cloud? Bird feathers?" And then like as soon as it touches people, they start sucking up their magic power. And so yeah, you get this really vivid image of people literally just kind of like disintegrating and screaming and stuff. And it's all just conjoining right in front of Trinity, and he's like laughing, saying, what a what wonderful magic." He's like, "Libku, I will praise you for providing me with this feast refined of magic." And so like all condenses into this like tiny orb, and then he just eats it. Magic power gets even stronger. And honestly, what it reminds me of is like Father from Brotherhood and like the Philosopher's Stone. That's honestly what that scene reminds me of. And so yeah, Arta comments that his power is becoming even stronger. And so then he's like laughing, saying, "I feel your love, Libku." So yeah, Lil's like, "Love." And so Libku explains the Magic King Trinity's archive is Superbia, and his thema is Caritas, which is charity. And Yeah, Christian virtue. It says charity as in the Christian virtue. Yeah, and yeah. Sorry, read that 3 times. All world, and then he says, all worlds across space and time are enveloped in his love. That is the meaning of existence. So art is like you, then all the people in the city just now, you consumed everyone. They are rather all who live are food. They, or rather all who live, are food to me, Magic King candidate. And you will become the same way, or the same as my successor. One could say my child. So art is like, I'm your child, what is that? So the king is like, Livku, you haven't told him. Having been brazenly destroyed once by Livku and Arboraceous' scheme, my theme of Kartas has already severed and discarded the elements of synthesis as no longer necessary. My theme is now perfectly pure. I've successfully refined it to a single theme of amare, which is Italian for love. And the unneeded half of me I've discarded, born of the dregs of synthesis. That is what you are, Magic King candidate, Astro Trinity. So he is, Arta's Magic King element is one half of the Magic King. Just pretty crazy. And yeah, I really was not expecting that to happen. So Arta is technically half of him or something. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, are they all, like, all the Magic Kings like a part of him, or just Arta himself? But yeah, not really sure on that part. Like whether it's like all the Magic Kings are like parts of this one Magic King or they're like different. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the review. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff. We are now finally caught back up. Until the next time, and yeah, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff, and I will see you guys later. So yeah, bye.